shit.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DC, UPenn's finest. Chris is out today. He is battling what sounds like a pretty rough illness right now. So hoping he recovers and whatnot. We'll have him back next week, of course. But yeah, last division prediction of the offseason. We are, as of this recording, it's opening night eve. We got the NFC East to go over, which leads us perfectly into opening night, Eagles, Cowboys. And then we got our NFL award predictions, of course. Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, and MVP. We might talk about Protector of the Year, even though the first year could be a little bit of give it to someone who earned it, and then Comeback Player of the Year. I told them specifically the award criteria changes every year, so not necessarily saying we need a pick for that one. It's probably going to be Aiden Hutchinson anyway, but I digress. And then we're going to talk Super Bowl predictions, of course. But before we get into any of that, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and audio listeners, make sure you leave a like, 5-star review. Let's go to Danny for Summits and Plummets.
Yeah, my summit is we're back to doing 2 days for working out. Had a run this morning, had a lift in a sauna this afternoon. I think I had this conversation in the sauna with this guy. Just it's all about mind, body, and soul, and you kind of see all three things connect when you work out on a consistent basis. So definitely feeling good lately. Definitely
chatted up with Genghis Khan in the sauna.
Man, he bro, this guy, he's a real one. He comes from West Philly to media for the gym. He said he loves the gym that much.
Wow. Hey, I can't be mad at it.
The reason I was talking to him, he had a tattoo of the Nationals logo with the Phillies P. And I said, what does that mean? He goes, it means West Philly. And I was like, oh, I kind of get that, but like, why the Nationals logo?
Maybe it's the Walgreens logo. Who knows?
Like the same thing, but still, like,
I'm passionate about Walgreens too.
I thought it was funny. I was just confused why he had it. So shout out that guy. I don't know his name, but good talks tonight.
Who needs any of that name nonsense when he's dropping gems like that? Yeah, I knew it was going to be a great day when I got woken up by a text at 7 a.m. saying, "Let's have a good day" by Danny. I was like, all right, that's great, but I'm gonna get 2 more hours of sleep first before anything, because I don't have to be.
I had 2 hours less sleep of that. I was up at 5:15.
Yeah, but you got your 3-mile run in, the serotonin, the dopamine's all up and whatnot.
Exactly.
But yeah, how could you even have a plummet on this glorious?
There is no
Wednesday
plummet.
Night?
It's a glorious Wednesday night. It's gonna be a triple summit. Football is back, is obvious. Like we're talking about.
Come on, man.
That's back, right? But the real thing isn't football's back. It's that fall is upon us. Fall. It's crisp. You wake up. It's 55 degrees outside. You can throw some fits on.
True.
Go get your pumpkin spice latte and go be a white girl if you want for the weekend. But
yes, all my performative males, put the matcha down. It's special. It's pumpkin spice season. Get with the time.
That matcha was that matcha was never real. Like
it should never be the move. Matcha sucks, dude.
Matcha's just it's a bad. It's look,
dude. They just took some leaves and some grass.
That's what mint is, though.
All right, not too much on mint, okay?
That's what mint is.
Not too much on mint, okay?
I love mint,
but it's different because like matcha is like if you try to make a greens powder taste good, is really what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think matcha is great, but
matcha's it's not me.
The one thing I will give you, matcha, Wawa used to have a mint matcha, the combined mint and matcha milkshake.
Okay, maybe we can get behind that.
Low key, it was mint chocolate matcha.
Okay, it was I can get behind that because mint and chocolate are both going to be stronger flavors. So
yeah,
that's not yeah, but yeah, I guess I'll get into my summit. I think I got them last week, so I guess the new Drake file wouldn't be a summit. But oh man, trying to Oh, Summit. All my teams won last week. Temple won, Texas A&M won, Penn State won. Temple won in such a thrashing fashion that here's the game plan, all right? Oklahoma's going to go beat Michigan because we need that. They're going to go beat Michigan. They're going to, take care of the young quarterback. Temple's going to go destroy Howard. Like, that's for sure. They're going to destroy Howard. So you have 2-0 Temple and 2-0 Oklahoma. Game day, why not come to Philly? Why not? Why not? Why not? I mean, look, Evan Simon throws 6 touchdowns again. Oklahoma wins it in thrashing fashion. Look, just come back. It's going to be a long time. It could be a long time since you're back. Just find an excuse to come find us, please. Even though I won't be there. I won't be there personally because my brother and my sister-in-law, their gender reveals that day. So I won't be at college game day if and when it does pop back up in Philly. But yeah, I'm super excited. Double Summit, yeah. How about that? Yeah, I'll find out when if I'm a niece or I'm an uncle to a niece or a nephew in a couple weekends. So super excited for that. Also, it's 6-7 weekend coming up. If anyone cares,
6-7 weekend. I got a wedding this weekend as well. And outside of the wedding, I have a beautiful Aaron Rodgers debut in New York that I will be attending.
Who are they playing?
Steelers Jets.
You'll be in Jersey. Okay, you confused me a little bit.
I said New York.
They should. I know, but they should. Don't they just sound like the New Jersey Jets? That would be nice. I'm just saying.
NJJ.
You know me. You know me. I'm very, very critical of Buffalo is New York's team, and then those other two New Jersey whatevers are doing their thing. But speaking of one of those New Jersey things, let's talk about the Giants. The Giants, their biggest acquisitions easily came through the draft with Jackson Dart at quarterback. Abdul Carter was their top 3 pick. And honestly, another one of their big additions is that while Malik Neighbors wasn't healthy last year, I guess you kind of know you got a star with him. Obviously, they signed Russell Wilson. They signed Jameis Winston, so they got some veteran presence in that, in that room. So, I don't. Give me one moment to find their over under. But in the meantime, Danny, tell me.
My guess is
what are you thinking about them? I was like, yeah. Do you want to guess?
It's 5.5 MGM.
It's on MGM. I've been using Yahoo this whole time, so I do just want to say consistent to that. It's 5.5 on them. Okay. All right. Yeah, but anyway, tell me, what are your thoughts on the Giants this year? When do you think we might see Jackson Dart? Expectations for Abdul Carter and whatnot?
This Giants team, people don't want to talk about. They have a very, very stout defense. Look across the board. Their D-line is one of my favorite in the league. It's got stars on it all across. I think it's genuinely a top 10 defensive line unit in the league. With a rookie coming in, just says a lot, especially with the rookie being one of the better players in that unit. Their corners are a little weak, but their safety room is decent. Their linebackers played solid last year. I mean, look, the Giants are going to play this hard-nosed football and try to ground, and they're going to try to grit you out and ground and pound. And I think the reality is they wind up being a worse version of the Steelers with Russ. Evidently, Malik Neighbors is better than Pickens, much better. Separates better, probably just as good at the contested catch point. The same way the Steelers didn't have a 2, they don't really have a 2. The Steelers at least had a tight end. The Giants' O-line is putrid. I think I'll take their under. I think they win 4 or 5 games, but I think they look to see Jackson Dart get involved towards the back half of the year.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm going to go under here. Russell Wilson will give you about like 2 or 3 exciting games, as Danny knows. Broncos fans kind of know as well, but he isn't what he used to be. I mean, he had that long shot during the preseason. It was beautiful, but that's not something he can connect on consistently. Malik Neighbors is going to have, I think, like an all-pro level year. Now, I don't know if the voters are going to put him in because they're not going to be a good team, but I could see him as someone with 110 catches with 1,400 yards. He's just one of those guys who can go down the field and just start dunking on people. So I'm really excited for him. Their running back room doesn't have like any crazy household names. You got Scatabo, you got Tracy. And I think they could get something going there. But I mean, in terms of threats outside of Neighbors, I'm not exactly thrilled with this offense. And then defensively, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you got Burns, Lawrence, Abdul Carter. Like the defense is going to be pretty stout. And if they have a path to success, like to being that team that turns everything around in immediately, it would be on the back of the defense, of course. These running backs kind of finding their way as a committee, or one of them takes the helm. And then quarterback wise, it's either Russell Wilson is, a little bit more consistent throughout the year, or we get Jackson Dart and there's a world where Dable cooks up, nice little RPOs for him, makes the game super easy, heavy play action, lets him find success, kind of like how Bo Nix last year, earlier in the season with Jaden Daniels. So yeah, this is a year where, Russ is one of the legends of the game. I mean, me and Danny grew up watching the best versions of Russell Wilson, but his leash shouldn't be too long. You got a first round quarterback who's waiting to get after it. So I'll go under on that one. Anything else we wanted to say? Okay, let me throw a line at you. I don't know the line off the top of my head, but Abdul Carter over under 7.5 sacks. What do you think? Because I think the last time like a rookie got like, I was just looking at it the other day, like Parsons had, I think 12.5, and he wasn't even close to the rookie record. And people are like, oh, Carter could smash it. But I was like, it's not that easy. Garrett had like 7 his rookie year. And Deaney was first sacked to like week 7 or something like that.
I'm taking the under.
I'll take the over by like a hair, but maybe like 8 or 9 sacks. But his impact will go.
There's a reason I take the under. I agree. There's a reason I take the under. The Giants are going to be trailing. Teams are going to run the shit out of the ball against the Giants.
That's fair. That's fair enough. And also maybe they'll use Abdul Carter. I mean, he was going to be a first round pick as a linebacker before his last year at Penn State. And then he went to edge rusher and like, wow, he's even better. But he's kind of like how Micah Parsons was at Penn State with the off ball, on ball stuff, almost to like a scarier extent in a way. I think Parsons is a better edge rusher, but
but he's not as good as LeVar Arrington though.
Yo, he's on the way. Yo, oh my god, I'm forgetting the second. I know his initials are DDS. Number 33 on Penn State. That kid's gonna be a monster. He is so freakishly athletic. He gave Nevada all sorts of. It's Nevada, so take it with a grain of salt. But while we were talking Penn State guys, I just wanted to bring it up. So yeah, we both have the under on that. We don't want to take up too much time with the East because we do have a lot of stuff to talk about. But let's get to the Cowboys. The Cowboys are slotted at 7.5. I'll take the first go on this one. I'm going to go over. I'm not thrilled with their defense, especially with Overshown hurt and that Micah Parsons guy just got traded. Whoever cares about that, but I'm gonna trust that their offense is able. I don't know about playoffs, but I'll take them for 8 wins at least because. I mean, look, the last time I've seen Dak Prescott with a bad defense and, some competent offensive weapons, he had like 2,000 yards through like 5 games. Like he genuinely lit it up before he got hurt. So I think him, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferg, with a bad run game, they're going to be airing it out a lot. And I have no problems with Dak during the regular season. I mean, like Dak is, in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback. If not, he's just outside of there. So I trust him and CD to do some pretty, some pretty big things offensively, and hopefully that can get 8 wins. It's kind of going to be like last year's Bengals, like a Bengals light to an extent. I mean, Dak is capable of putting up those level of numbers. It's kind of like a CD. Can you put up those chase numbers? We're going to find out. And foreshadow for later, Danny may think that. He may think that about CD. What are your thoughts on the Cowboys? 7.5 over under.
I think they smashed the over. I think Dak Prescott puts up 4,500 yards and like 35 touchdowns. The last time we see if Dak Prescott's healthy, this team knows how to score points. They have two weapons who are both respectively top 20 in their position group. They have Jake Ferguson, who's a great tight end, perfect for Dak Prescott. I call them seam seeds because he throws seeds in the seam. That's all they are.
He's the seam god.
He is a seam god. And look, the running back room, although it might be name soup, it is they've got a bunch of guys there. Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams.
Yeah, just a bunch of guys who can get 2 yards in a cloud of dust football, baby.
I'm not saying it's going to be a great room, but like they have some guys who can occasionally make a play.
Yeah, I guess so. But this is going to be on the back of Lamb and Pickens for sure.
Oh yeah, I think they smashed this over though. I think their issue last year wasn't more on their offense, not the defense, but I think they could easily go under, and is the issue. And if they do if they go under, I think they're a top 5 pick in the draft. If they go over, I think they're like 9-8, 10-7. And if they go under, I think Schottenheimer gets fired.
Yeah, I don't see his leash being too long. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're totally right. I mean, like George Pickens, as we've always talked about, like, okay, what is a team ceiling if he's your wide receiver 1? And Pittsburgh kind of showed you, it's like you can get to playoffs with him as your wide receiver 1, with some tough backs and on the back of a good defense. Like he could be your wide receiver 1 in a wild card exit. As a wide receiver 2, and the wide receiver 1 being arguably the third best receiver in football to many, at worst you should have him at 4. I think like he could really take the top off. Those two mesh really well together. George Pickens wants to stretch the field. He wants to go get the jump balls, while CD wants to work underneath. He wants to work the intermediate stuff, and it's going to blend together very well. But they're just got to do a lot of outscoring. So yeah, time will tell on that. Anything else on Dallas?
Nah, not really. I hate their defense, but
yeah. But I mean, in good news, at least for them, Adoree Jackson is starting at the other boundary corner. So if you have any prop bets on George Pickens, now's the time, right?
See, no, they're doing all that Jason Tatum switch motion right onto CD onto.
If CD lines up in a slot a lot, that's going to be okay because we have Coop. Coop's not the fastest with the hips or whatever, but like I can trust him. He's one of the better nickel corners in the league. Quinion better get better. Yeah, you hope you can travel, buddy. Hope you're prepared for it. But yeah, let's move on to the Washington Commanders. Commanders are one of those teams. Obviously, they caught everybody off guard last year with Jaden Daniels and whatnot. But now you still kind of look at this roster, and at least in my opinion, I'm still just not impressed with the roster as many other teams. It's probably going to be my hottest take, at least of the division predictions, and it doesn't make it much better than I'm wearing an Eagles jersey right now. Their over-under is 9.5. I think they go under. Progress in the NFL is not, linear. Just because you were this good this year, are you going to make the same leap in year 2? I just don't think that's how this is going to be with Jaden Daniels at the very least. He's going to have a solid year. Like, he could put up the same numbers he did last year, and it can still be disappointing because the growth wasn't linear. Defensively, I mean, I'm just not a fan. The front 7 is fine. Linebacker room is fine with Luvu and Wagner. Defensive line is good. I mean, but just I'm not a fan of the secondary. Offensively, I will say this: as much crap as we've given Debo in the past, I think Debo could add like a pretty nice element to the offense. However, the run game, I mean, right now, like Austin Eckler's listed as running back one, and Bill Krosky Merritt, as much as I've shown him love, at least fantasy wise, he is still kind of an unknown. So how their running game will look is time will tell. And as much as people want to think Jaden Daniels contributes to that running game, he's this is going to sound like some real hater stuff. Statistically, he was actually one of the worst quarterbacks in the league on design runs. I think he averaged like 2 yards a carry on design runs. He made his money on scrambles, which is, I guess, still technically the run game, but it's definitely out of.
On the lowest, I think it's because the frequency they had him run. They drew up a lot of like third and short, third and medium, have him pick up like 2 to 3 yards and like get down early on. Like they had him running a lot of third and shorts and situations that Jay Daniels didn't have to go break three for the long ones. But I still get the point. He wasn't that efficient. He really operated like on that scramble drill.
Yeah, that's really where he got his money, you know? Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Commanders? They're 9.5. It seems like they're expected to make the playoffs according to this line. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the oldest team in the NFL.
Yeah,
this is Jaden Daniels and a bunch of unks, just to say the least.
It's the unction.
Because Debo is part of the unction because he's old, he's fat. Without Terry, I don't know how many games this team wins, but with Terry, this team is an actual threat. Genuinely think this team. I think they win 10 games. I think they're still a very solid team. I think they have good veteran presence. I think Ertz is still a really solid player. Jaden Daniels would have to get hurt for me to feel any other way about this team. But look, they went into Detroit and beat a 15-2 team. They went into Tampa Bay and beat a team that not many people were beating in the playoffs over the last few years. They then went to Philly and kept it close for the first 3 quarters, but Philly just stomped on after that. The game was close, but it was kind of close. Like, if they don't turn the ball over that many times, that game is a game.
Oh, yeah, if Saquon doesn't run for 3 touchdowns, it would be close. I get what you mean, though. There were turning points. Just like in every blowout, there are turning points to the game.
The game was like 34-23, and Eckler fumbled, and the Eagles go and just punch it down their throat. If they don't fumble there and go score, it's 34-30. You might have a shootout.
Jaden Daniels had a running touchdown the drive before it. Like, yeah, there's turning points to everything.
Like they weren't struggling against the Eagles defense is the point. At the end of the game, it really got bad.
They weren't struggling, but it wasn't like they were just. They weren't there. Yeah. They were striding down the field. You know, I mean, 18 plays to get 3 points. That's
that same Eagles defense. That same Eagles defense decided to go shut out the defending champions for 3 quarters for next week.
I'm gonna be honest though, if the Eagles put on that level of pressure against Jaden Daniels, which I mean they kind of did, they got to him a couple times, but just what they were putting on Mahomes was utterly ridiculous. So,
I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, look out!
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. But I have the under, you have the over. I definitely see your point of view. I mean, Jaden Daniels could be that kind of guy who could just carry whatever to the playoffs. I'm really excited to see his growth as a passer this upcoming season. So
when you hear my crazy take, he's still QB3 in that class.
He's still QB3. I think after last year you have to book him 1, at least for now. If you were like, oh, quarterbacks I take from this class, and you had him at 3,
at the end of this year, he's still QB3 for me.
That could happen. That could very much happen. Caleb Williams could become a different monster under Ben Johnson. Drake May could just evolve into Josh Allen overnight. Like, anything can happen.
I think Drake May leads his Patriots to playoffs, and I said that earlier.
We know how you feel about Drake May. We all have we all represent one of those quarter. Chris represents Shane Daniels. You got Drake May, and I represent Caleb. So, and none
Thanks
of
for
us,
the-
and all of us like Michael Penix, and I don't think any of us like Bo Nix. So,
Bo
and
Nix
we
is-
all like Spencer Rattler, of course.
Why is that the quarterback you think of? JJ McCarthy. Come on now.
Oh, I like JJ. I like JJ.
Okay, wait.
I was there when
so
everyone's like, he has no film. All he does is hand the ball off.
look,
Don't get little film mixed up with bad film.
JJ gonna win Breakout Player of the Year?
If that was an award, I mean, if this is like his rookie season, I wouldn't give him that.
That's what I'm saying.
Kyle
right?
Pitts for Breakout Player of the Year. Yes. You know it's going to be Kyle Pitts.
Joe Mixon too.
Joe Mixon. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's get to the Eagles. Let's wrap up this side of the episode while we're here. Philadelphia Eagles, their line is 11.5. I'm sure this doesn't help with the bias. I think they can win 12 games though. I don't think that's far fetched for the team that just won the Super Bowl.
The one that was up 34-0.
Yeah, surely it's not far fetched that they can win 12 National Football League games. I will say this though about the Eagles is the offense is not going to lose a step. All right, I mean Saquon, we have no hearing that he's been dealing with offseason injury or anything. He was really healthy last year. The offensive line is healthy. Dickerson just went through a full practice, so his meniscus seems to be, a non-issue. Yeah, I mean, Lane Johnson has only gotten better with age. It's honestly insane. Jordan Mailata proved last year he's one of the top left tackles in the league, and Juergens is getting another year under Stoutland, which is always going to be good. And you could say they upgraded on offense, by adding in John Mechie, who is definitely a level up at wide receiver 4 and kind of pushes Jahan at the wide receiver 3 spot. But so the offense, I have no worries. Defense, I think we're getting a little bit more realistic, secondary wise. So the front is going to be great. Carter, Davis, Ajamo, Nolan Smith, Hunt. You got the guys. Obviously, the backers are going to be. You got Campbell. You got All-Pro Zach Bond. You'll get Dean at back at some point in the year, and if not, you do have Trotter, who's been waiting in the mix. But the secondary is what's really the problem, because last year your second best corner was Darius Slay, who played at like nearly a fringe Pro Bowl level last year. Like he was really good. And now you got Adoree Jackson, you got Bennett, you have Keely Ringo. And then at safety, Makuba's apparently not getting the start. It's going to be Sidney Brown, who every time he plays, it's one play. It's, oh my God, this kid is a bat out of hell. He's great. And then you look up and he's hurt or he's blowing a coverage. So I think they'll have some questions to be answered defensively. I don't think it's going to lead to a 20 or 23 level breakdown. That's not the point. But it's going to take a little bit of experimenting to find that secondary out for sure around Reed Blankenship, Quinion Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. So give me my birds for 12 wins. I'd probably pick them to go like 13-4 realistically, and then like the 1 or 2 seed in the conference. So yeah.
I got them for 12 wins. They have a really tough schedule. I don't want to echo too much, but the Philadelphia Eagles have a very, very tough schedule after winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, getting first place in the division gets you a first place schedule.
It's the reality. Year over year, I think the thing that differs is this team is built to go toe to toe. Like, there's not a game where I look at on the Eagles schedule for the last 3 years since 2022 that I said, "Wow, the Eagles shouldn't be favored."
Yeah, that's the reality of it. I mean, going into Jalen Hurts' first year as a starter, me and you both sat at looking at their schedule, and we're just like, if
we looked
Jalen
at the
Hurts,
first 11
we
weeks,
think he is, we're like, they're going to win a lot of games.
I remember looking at the schedule. I saw the Packers game and said this could be the first game they lose, because I thought Aaron Rodgers was coming off an MVP. I thought he was still great, which he was good that year.
Yeah, he was fine his last year in Green Bay. He was fine.
And I said that could be the first game they lost. They lost the week before that to the Commanders on a crazy
brutal.
And then Jalen Hurts, like, legitimately, that run was special, and
he never looked back. Never has.
no,
No.
he had a purpose for he had an opinion.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. So if they do hit this mark, 12 wins, I think this will be 4 straight years where the Eagles have won over 11 games. There's a common denominator in all this. They'll say it's the talent around them. I'll say it's quarterback's got a big, you know, he's a big piece of the pie. I'll say that.
yeah, since when I thought wins were quarterback stat, but now they're not.
Come on, they can't make up their minds. They can't make up their minds, man. I saw a quarterback list where they had him at 13, and he was below Jordan Love, and I was like, "Who? Yeah, he was below some guys. He just shouldn't be below."
Respectfully, Stroud will never be put over him until he has one of those Lombardis in his fan.
Yeah, and Geno I think was like 9 on this list, so take it for what you will. Like Geno, top 15 quarterback for sure, and better than some of these dudes who are casually put over him. Geno Smith is not better than Jalen Hurts.
That list probably had like Derek Carr over Hurts.
It was like Purdy. It was like
Purdy,
Goff, and Jordan Love. I'm like, okay, dude.
Yo, gunslinger for gunslinger, Baker Mayfield might be like he's a better passer than Hurts. He's not a better quarterback, but he's a better passer.
Look, I mean, like there are certain guys like if you have them over him, like sure, like Baker's went out there, won playoff games, puts up the numbers. Goff, has a couple playoff wins, but I'm not really putting over him because everything's got to be perfect for him. Jaden Daniels, like I don't want to put someone over Hurts, which is one season body of work, but I get it. Stafford, things like that. Don't give me Jordan Love, dog. Like, come on. Don't give me someone. Jordan Love is going to be great, but we're waiting on him to be like Aaron Rodgers, and he's just not that yet.
Yeah.
So, but that's enough.
CJ on that quarterback talk, I think CJ Stroud could quickly fall into that Trevor Lawrence aspect of the NFL.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is about a good season away from like bumping up into that Stafford territory. Like he truly is. But he's what's going to happen to Jordan Love if he puts up a couple, like even this season, if he puts up another season where it's kind of like, he's just up and down, he turns the ball over too much, you're just like Trevor Lawrence. So time will tell. But let's move on to these NFL awards. We can start with MVP. Why not? Start at the top. My most valuable player will be Patrick Mahomes. I think we're about 2 or 3 seasons since we've last seen him really put up Mahomes level numbers, like 40 touchdowns and a million yards and whatnot. And I think this year, he's going to miss Rashee Rice for the first 6 games, but that's no biggie. I think he really found something later in the year with Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce is always going to be a reliable option. He's not going to be the 1,500 yards guy that we used to love, but he's still going to be a good option to hold it down. And with Rashee Rice coming back, he'll have him for a majority of the season this time. The Super Bowl, he relied on him against the Niners. So I expect him to have his best year in a couple years. I think he needs a big reminder year because there's guys like me, there's guys like you and Chris who's like, hey, you didn't win the Super Bowl this time, so we're not obligated to put you at 1. Like you don't have the stats and the winning no more. You kind of had neither last year. Well, you won a lot of games, but you didn't win the 1. So he kind of needs a little bit of year to put some distance between him and Lamar and him and Josh again. I'm picking him to do that. It will be his 3rd MVP of his career. Ties a lot of greats.
Yeah, I love that. I am picking none other than the best quarterback, the most talented quarterback in the NFL, and that is Lamar Jackson. I think he is a freak of nature. He is a one-man wrecking crew, and I think we need to talk about it more. Lamar Jackson has dragged bad Ravens teams to the playoffs year after year. He's put balls in spots that only receivers can catch. We used to talk about Lamar like, oh, he's like he'll never reach the level of passer that Patrick Mahomes can. And slowly in front of our eyes, he starts making these throws that you're like, wow. Did he just elevate his passing game?
Yeah, and I said this on Twitter. I was like, if you told me Lamar would be this level of passer coming out of Louisville, I would have flat out called you nuts. He's worked on his game
it's unreal.
a lot.
It's absolutely unreal. And if it wasn't for Mark Andrews, I think he might go to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah. I mean, this is, if you believe in the Ravens, it's not now or never, of course. As long as Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson, you have a shot to win the Super Bowl. But I think this is his best chance more than ever. Let me ask you something.
I think the problem is that the Ravens is football is such a team sport, and we saw that with the Eagles. They fired on all cylinders in the Super Bowl. Lamar he's not an individual player, but as an individual player, he makes such a substantial impact to the game. And time after time, these Baltimore Ravens have let him down. And it sucks that Chris isn't on the call for this because I know he would actually agree that, like, they have talent on the team. Zay Flowers is awesome. Mark Andrews is great. Isaiah Likely is awesome. They have Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, and they have really solid, like, team. Their defense was the number one ranked defense after week 11 in the NFL. And the more you look, you're like, how does it just fall apart every year? It's not Lamar. Lamar can always play better in the playoffs, but he got robbed of MVP last year. He had the best season. I know Josh Allen was the MVP, the most valuable to his team. I think Lamar Jackson will be in the MVP category every single year after year. He's one of a kind, and I think when he retires, he'll go underappreciated for how impactful he was to the NFL.
So I have two remarks. One is, I think if the top 100, the NFL top 100 that's voted on by the players, if they got anything right, I think it was those top two players. Saquon and Lamar were absolutely the two best players in football last year. And in my opinion, Chase should have been third, but the MVP being at 4 would be, I think the last time the MVP was at 4 was 2020 or 2019. They put Mahomes at 4 after he threw for 50 touchdowns. So I was like, yeah, sure, I guess.
Well, they put the MVP at 19 this year, so
yeah, well, here's my second one, and my second part is a question. In your mind, I mean, and he's only really competing with one dude. Do you think Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback ever to not win a ring at this moment? Do you think he's past Dan Marino?
Yes.
Or does he kind of need to build up the stats first? But as it stands right now, I mean,
look, he's not greater than Dan Marino, but I think skill-wise, I think Lamar at this point, Dan Marino's never put up 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and had that rushing ability. No, sir. He's never done that.
I'll say this. So you're someone who I believe you're a believer of Rodgers being the most talented quarterback. But if we take into consideration the running ability, could we truly say Lamar Jackson is the most talented quarterback of all time?
Yes, he is. I mean, if we're talking about thrower of the football, I think it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we got Rodgers, Mahomes, those guys. But
if you're talking about overall at the position,
there's more to the game than just throwing that football now.
This guy Lamar Jackson,
he's just as good as everybody else at throwing the ball, and he's better. He clears anyone who's ever played this game as a running quarterback. Clears them.
And I know if Chris was on here, I'll speak for him. Lamar jogs. He just jogs.
He jogs. He really does. I think the last time I seen him even hit remotely top speed was like the 5 steps he took before he hit the spin move on that Bengals player. That was it, though.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't really move like that. The game is just so slow to him. So yeah, let's enough of a little more praise. Let's go to offensive player of the year. Um, Eagles bias is striking once again. I think we're lined up for another Saquon offensive player of the year. And my hot take, here's my hot take. He's going to be the first player to ever go back-to-back 2,000 yards. I'm pretty sure no one's ever rushed for 2,000 yards twice. I'm going to double check that,
so.
but
Henry was close last year.
He was very close. I'm just going to look up, has anyone ever rushed for 2K twice? No, I think Saquon's going to be the first person to ever do it. He's going to do it in back-to-back years as well.
Yeah,
and I think this time he'll get Dickerson.
OJ had 2,000 yards in 14 games, though.
That is crazy. I don't think he'll do that, but I think he will catch Eric Dickerson this time in the proper 16 games. I think they will set the last week of the season, but I think he's going to catch him ethically. And
2,000 yards in 14 games. Is
yeah, I mean, you go. I mean, look, if he does that, he can go band for band with any 2-year rushing season ever. You could argue he's the best peak of any running back ever.
We're bringing back sideline savings. Saquon 86 rushing yards is the biggest lock tomorrow night.
What are you kidding me? Eagles money line, Saquon over. I'm out. I'm good. Oh, and a Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown.
Go pay for your Popeyes. Come on.
Yeah, come on, man. But who's your offensive player of the year?
My offensive player of the year is a player that I have been loving for a long time now. It's someone that, in general, I think is one of the better players on the planet, CeeDee Lamb. I think he's top 3 receiver in the NFL. I think he's going to get force-fed on a bad team, like a mediocre team. It's going to have to throw the ball. And if they're going to be any good, it's going to be in the back of him. So Dak and CD buddy ball. I think people are all going to talk about how George Pickens is going to benefit from having CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's going to benefit from having George Pickens. His best receiver was Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Michael Gallup. He was there with Amari Cooper. I'll give him that. But he was young. CD was not this way. Cooper was still the one there. When you talk about CeeDee Lamb in the last few years, he is just a standout receiver who is dominant. He plays inside. He plays outside. He can beat you any way that you ask. The one thing that people probably can knock on CD for is his physicality. He's not as physical as A.J. Brown, but he's more elusive. Who's as physical as A.J. Brown, though? Let's be honest.
DK should be, but he's not.
No one's as physical as A.J. Brown. So, yeah, I think CeeDee Lamb is my pick for Offensive Player of the Year. And I will move over to Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, lead the way, man.
And my Defensive Player of the Year, you're going to think I'm like some like person who just loves inflicting pain on myself. Like, you're like, oh, you're picking 2 Ravens to win awards and you're picking a Cowboy? Like, wait, what's going on? Like, I'm picking Kyle Hamilton with Defensive Player of the Year. And there's a reason that I think Kyle Hamilton wins. I think the Ravens are going to be the best defense in the NFL. And I think that Kyle Hamilton is the best player on the best defense. And in my opinion, if you're the best player and most impactful player on the best defense and put up gaudy stat numbers, you should be the decoy. Because Kyle Hamilton, I don't know who the less decoy to win safety to win decoy is.
I couldn't tell you. Once you find it, can I guess though?
Yeah.
Is this like a 2000s dominant guy? So are we looking at maybe like Doc or Palomalu, Ed Reed?
Yep.
Was it Troy?
It was Troy. He won in 2010. It's kind of funny. Yeah. I search up safety to win decoy. It says Troy Palomalu, and it's a picture of Kyle Hamilton that comes up.
I'm afraid you know too much.
I know something. We know
I'm
way
afraid
too
you
much.
know too much. Prayers to
So
Danny. You're gonna get 8 black SUVs rolling down Summit. They're gonna take you in your sleep. You know too much.
Google knows something because but no, I see the Ravens being a very good football team as they have been the last few years, and I see Kyle Hamilton leading the pack.
Yeah, I absolutely love the pick. I told you earlier I was thinking about someone like who could be best defender, best defense, and also have the stats to pick it up. And I thought Fred Warner. I thought, maybe Zach Bond, but like, can I expect him to like duplicate what he did last year? It's a tall task. Not to say he's can't be good still. I do believe in him. It's just like that was a hell of a year last year. But I think I'm going to go. My pick is going to be Micah Parsons in a Khalil Mack kind of way. He's going to come in and just change the Green Bay defense. He's going to, like, I'm expecting 15 plus sacks. He's going to, like, the versatility he's going to be able to provide. It's just going to make Green Bay one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. It's going to be like it's kind of like an MVP thing. And he could just flat out be the best defensive player in football. Any given year, Micah Parsons has that ability, in my opinion. I expect him to go into Green Bay and really change things around, and it's gonna, it's gonna get eyes going. It's gonna get eyes going to his direction to finally get that defensive player of the year. And now someone who is what is he, 25, 26 years old. He's already long overdue for one. I can't exactly point out, say, oh, he deserved it over this or he deserved it over that, but like he'd been in the running since his rookie year, so I mean it feels like it's been forever. But he's so young, and I can see him getting several in his career, with the first being this season. Let's talk about Offensive Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we have some interesting answers. So, and I think the reason this race is so interesting is because there's really only one quarterback in it for sure. They're probably not going to give it to a quarterback that's missed 7 or 8 weeks of the season. So unless Jackson Dart gets, unless they pull the plug early on Russell Wilson and throw in Jackson Dart, he's already behind the 8 ball. Obviously, Gabriel and Sanders are already behind the 8 ball. Cam Ward's starting from day one. And not that I buy into this narrative, but what if Cam Ward is the quarterback that the rookie quarterback that takes the really bad team to the playoffs his first year, like a Stroud, like a Daniels, like that really is a boost for him. Then you have Ashton Genty, who's probably going to get fed more than, a big kid on Thanksgiving. Like he's going to be fed a lot, so he's going to have the chance to put up these gaudy stats. And then you got guys like Travis Hunter, who is Trevor Lawrence and got Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side of him. He's got the opportunity to put up big stats. You got Tedero McMillan, who's got Bryce Young, who clearly took the leap at the end of last season. He's going to be the top receiver for a quarterback who's figured it out. I mean, there's so many people that could be in this race, in this competition. Matthew Golden could be in this competition. He's the best receiver for a quarterback who is all pro level talent, Pro Bowl level talent. I mean, there is just so much. There's so many different directions to go in with this. That being said, I'm going to pick Tedero McMillan to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to be the best receiver with a young quarterback who hasn't really had good weapons in his career. He's going to find out what a good weapon looks like, and he's going to spam it. I think Tedero McMillan's going to have a great season. I thought he was, one of the top 2 receivers in this class. I think this is a great situation for him. It's a young wide receiver room with Leggett, Jimmy Horn. I believe Hunter Renfrow got signed back to the practice squad, so having him around is also great. But that's going to be my pick. I'm going with T-Mac.
Yeah, I'm a fan of T-Mac here. I think T-Mac is honestly my second pick. My main pick is Will Howard. I'm kidding.
I wish. Pull the plug on Rodgers. Let Howard cook.
If he wasn't on IR, I think he'd win.
Tears. Hey, that's only 4 games, all right?
Yeah, maybe he's out. Even he come back, Rodgers tears his Achilles.
Whoa. Praying his quarterback tears his Achilles so Downingtown's finest can get a shot. Not mad at it.
Hey man, Rodgers. He said Will's a good kid. That's
Kid.
what he said.
He's a beast.
Kid.
Anyway, let's get with this pick.
But no, my real pick is Travis Hunter. I think people are going to underestimate. I think he can immediately come in the league and be a top 20 wide receiver and a top 20 corner in the NFL on both sides of the ball. And I think that's what he does. Simply said.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Let's go to Defensive Player of the Year. We both had, I think we had different picks. I don't remember who you picked for this one, but
we did.
Yep. Yeah. Well, my pick's going to be, it's going to be Abdul Carter. I thought he was the best defender in the draft. He's got a chance with that loaded defensive line to where, like, you can't really double team him, you know? So I think he has a chance to put up, some gaudy numbers. Like I said earlier, double-digit sacks. If you were to get that, then he's kind of like a lock for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he's going to be absolutely special. There's no really other edge rushers in this class that, like, jump off the wall to me the way that he does, the versatility that he brings. And it depends how much lick Travis gets on defense, but with that in the air, I feel confident with Abdul Carter as my pick.
That's fair. I think Abdul Carter is the favorite for a reason right now. I'm going with a more underdog pick in a very favorable system and scheme out west in Michael Williams. I think that in the Niners system, that they produce edge rushers. That he's going to be able to the weak side across from Nick Bosa. That only means he's going to get one-on-one looks. As a rookie, you have to look at who's going to get one-on-one looks and who's going to just be able to go one-on-one and win easy matchups. He might win easy matchups, but I think he's an overall game wrecker, and we saw that his film was very raw at Georgia. So looking forward to see kind of him develop throughout the year. I think you're on mute.
My bad. Definitely muted myself. But last but not least, we have Coach of the Year. My pick for Coach of the Year is going to be Liam Cohen. We're talking a lot of Jags here, but I think they're going to turn around. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and Liam Cohen's going to be a big piece of it because I think he's going to get Trevor Lawrence back on his right track. I think he's going to be able to balance what we're doing with Travis Hunter here, with the offense and the defense. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to eat. I really see Liam Cohen bringing Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars back to life with a playoff appearance in just his rookie year as a head coach. So I like Liam Cohen here. I really did consider Ben Johnson, but I don't have the Bears making the playoffs, so it's really hard for me to envision giving him that award. So I'm going to go with Cohen.
That's fair. My Coach of the Year is taking a team that was picking in the top 5 last year and taking that team that was picking in the top 5 to the playoffs. And it's a team that has high, lofty expectations, actually. It's the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel has shown to do this with the Tennessee Titans, and he's shown to establish culture. And people were actually wondering why he didn't get hired first. But he should have gotten hired 2 years ago. Oh, well. Can't reverse the past. But he does win Coach of the Year this year in a very decisive fashion, with the Patriots making the playoffs with a first-year coach and young quarterback.
Yeah. Do you have a lofty guess for like protector of the year? I'm going Lane.
The reality is it's going to be Lane Johnson.
It's going to be Lane Johnson no matter what.
If they were to do it to an interior guy, I think it's if they were to choose like Creed Humphrey.
Creed Humphrey would be definitely in the running for that. I mean, Penei Sewell is going to be in the running for it, of course. I mean, but
it
comes down to the young guy and the old guy,
Jordan Mailata wins.
That'd be something, but I think Mailata would genuinely just give it to Lane. He might just give it to Stoutland. I don't know.
He's the I belong to Stoutland University. I love that guy.
I love Jordan Mailata.
I love that guy.
Any guess for like comeback player of the year? Because apparently comeback player of the year is just like, it can be like literally comeback player of the year, like come back from an injury, or like you're just most improved, apparently.
Give me Nick Chubb with 1,000 yards.
Oh, I mean, if this was last year, he'd win it for sure. But in my eyes, like, he played last year, he just wasn't good. So
he barely played last year.
There's a reason for that.
They're gonna mess around and give Marvin Harrison Jr. comeback player of the year.
Yo, I'll light the NFL on fire. As much as a leap as I think he's taken, don't start doing this NBA stuff where you give second-year players most improved. This can be a most improved award. That's fine, but nah. We're not giving this to like, I don't know, Spencer Rattler. We're not doing that, okay?
Bro, imagine they give the award to Caleb Williams. You had a bad rookie year.
Come on, bro. We're losing integrity. Aiden Hutchinson's getting this award. All right, last but not least, Super Bowl predictions. Who's playing? Who's winning? Who's winning MVP?
You're going first.
You want me to go first? Hold up. Let me just make sure I can write all of our stuff down. Should I just guess Chris's? I'll probably just get his after. All right. Yeah. I mean, my pick. I've been praying for this for a couple of years. It just hasn't come true, but I'm gonna go Eagles Ravens again. I think this is your Ravens get over the Chiefs and Bills hump. They get to the Super Bowl. They get to play the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson going at it. Two of my three favorite quarterbacks in the entire NFL. And I have the Eagles winning. And this time I have Saquon getting the MVP. Whereas last year they put him in a box. I think this year he's going to be able to pop off. He had a pretty good game against the Ravens last year, so I think he's able to duplicate that. But Lamar gets over the AFC hump. He figures out what the Super Bowl looks like, and he'll know what it takes to get back, and he will get back. So I got the Eagles over the Ravens. If you want to score, give me like 28 to like a 28-20. I'll go like that.
Respectable.
What are you going with?
You know, they say every good thing has its cheap copy.
Okay.
Eagles Chiefs round 3.
Round 3. Hey, I ain't mad at it. We're 1-1 right now. I wouldn't be mad at a rematch. I would not be mad at a rematch. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
That's the boring one. My fun one is I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC, and I think they cleared. They're going back to Super Bowl. But my fun one is it's a little crazy. It's Eagles Broncos.
Okay. I can get behind that as a fun one. I guess in this universe,
I don't even think Bo Nix has to take the level up for that to happen.
Really?
I think they have the best. I think they have a top 3 defense in the NFL.
So there's some Trent Dilfer stuff.
I think you look at Sean Payton, established head coach, one of the best head coaches in the NFL, and you give him a damn good defense. A solid quarterback who's not going to put up gaudy numbers, but decent run game. You got like the more you look at the Broncos, you're like, wow, they could check out and win 10 games. They could check out and win 12 games in the AFC West.
If you did a fun one, can I do a fun one?
Go for it.
Chargers Cowboys.
It's not fun. That's boring.
That's fun. You know that's fun. Hypothetical man versus the most hated dude in the NFL. That would be one of the most watched Super Bowls of all time. Probably the most watched, considering the Dak is in it, and the hypothetical man finally starts winning in the playoffs. Dude, this would be glorious. It would be glorious.
You know, the crazy thing is, I actually wanted to take Eagles Ravens, but I had to be different. That was my original pick. And I was like, I can't do it now.
You want to know what's actually like? I don't want to say boring. I don't want to sound like a hater, but like this has been America's Super Bowl for like 2 years now, and just both teams suck when it matters. Lions Bills. I feel like everyone wants Lions Bills, and it's like this is the one America wants. Well, you're getting the one America deserves, and you're getting Eagles Chiefs for a third time. This is going to be Cavs Warriors.
Unfortunately, we're getting Eagles Steelers.
Hey now. Will Howard versus Kyle McCord on the big stage, baby.
Sam Howell.
Pennsylvania is a Warriors.
Sam Howell, unfortunately.
trading Sam Howell mid-year for a first-round pick.
Nah,
That's how he operates.
Legitimately, if the Steelers want to play the Eagles in the Super Bowl, this state would explode.
Yeah. But that's everything we got for the awards. We appreciate you guys tuning in again. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode if you really enjoyed it. AP New Freezer, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy football, everybody. We'll catch you guys next week.